Welcome to Tapestry with Miriam on Fusing Channel. As we celebrate Black History Month, we have selected women in the community that are doing great things. And this evening is not an exception. We are so glad to have a leader, an overcomer, and a strategist, Tracy F. Barry.
Yeah.
Welcome to the studio tonight. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much, Miriam, for having me. Really
How are you doing?
I'm good, though it's cold outside, you know.
Yeah, it is cold. Happy February month.
Thank you. Same to you.
Thank you. You founded Grow, and I didn't want to say so much to the viewers because I wanted you to talk about it yourself.
Sure.
Right. So you founded an organization called Grow for women leaders and career leadership and development.
Correct.
Right. How did this come about? How did you just, start from the beginning? I know you're from Nigeria. You came here, and you got your education and everything. And how did you just come up with this Grow?
All right. Thank you so much once again for having me on this great platform. I really think you're doing an awesome job here. I have to say, it was just amazing what I saw. Anyway, going back to your question, of course, I came here when I was really young, of course, as an immigrant, hence the reason why I support immigrant women. And when I came, integration was actually the problem, settling into Canada and wanting to become what you want to become. And of course, when I was going through my ordeal, of course, I met amazing women. That was like, I came here at the age of 17, so it's been a while. So going through that and seeing the way other women were trying to integrate and the struggles that was, surrounding them, I made a promise to myself that if I can one day find myself, I'm going to be supporting those women.
Yes.
Of course, when I was trying to integrate into Canada, I started having kids, making decisions, trying to do what I was taught when I was growing up, coming from Africa. But apparently, it doesn't work here as well. So life happened, made a lot of mistakes, came to Alberta because I was in another province when I came. Opportunity was there, things was starting to look amazing. Other women were admiring what I was doing, not really knowing the background of where I was coming from. Of course, and I was like, I wasn't really doing anything because if you guys know where I'm coming from, I haven't really done anything, And apparently, opportunity came, Canada 150. To showcase. Yes, that was where the work actually started. Though I was already working with women, it was just one-on-one, trying to motivate one another, But opportunity came, and I thought, you know what, this is something I could do. Just tell story. I think I came up one morning and I was like, one night I was sleeping, I was like, an idea came. I called a friend, I was like, this is Canada 150. I want to really tell a story of women. I want to go across Canada, tell the stories, how they overcome, and then put it into a book for Canada 150. And it was just a little idea. It was just that idea that turned into so many things that I'm doing today. And that's because of the struggles that I saw, that I was going through, and I saw that women going through. So I wanted to be the difference. Hence, Grow Women Leaders. Project 150 first, and after Project 150 was done, I thought I could, actually turn this into something else.
Yes.
That was when I built Grow out of the project.
So is Grow an acronym, or is just...
It's actually an acronym. It stands for Gradual Rising of Women. That's
nice.
What it is. Yes, Gradual Rising of Women.
Okay.
Because I don't even know, the name came to me after doing some research. I'm like, what exactly is this all about? I know we use the word a lot, women empowerment, with women empowerment. What does that really mean? So it was just like, Grow. What is it going to stand for? It was a lot of thoughts put into that, but it's called Gradual Rising of Women.
That's very good. I love it. How did you... So from the time you started Grow, it's been some years. Has there been any change in what has changed from, your initiative?
Absolutely. It's evolved a lot. So when we did Project 150, we went across Canada. We brought a lot of women to the platform to come share the story of how they became the women that they are in the community, being a politician, being a businesswoman, being the manager, being the executive. The goal for Project 150 there was just to, share the stories so I can use it to inspire women that was like me, that was still looking for, what am I going to say? Inspiration to become who they want to be.
Yes.
So, and of course, when we started doing the project, we started hearing a lot of stories, and all the stories looked alike. I published a book. It was called The Untold Stories of Immigrant Women in Canada. And of course, that kind of rounded up the project. And then when I finished the project, then it was me analyzing what I found. And that was when I started coming across a lot of hurdles, a lot of barriers, a lot of things, that I thought needed attention. Of course, because I found a problem among these immigrant women. Because remember, when we were going across Canada, hosting these women that had good stories that have overcome, we invited the public to come. Right. Nice. So after listening to most of these women, they will come to me and say, I just listened to Miriam. She's so inspiring. Tracy, do you know I have a master's from back home? Do you know I have PhDs from back home? And here I am, I'm not doing what I want to do. And that story was just so consistent everywhere I go. And I thought, you know what? What is going on here?
Yes.
We did a lot of research. We did additional research of what is happening when it comes to employment. So when we're doing the employment, we saw that there was a lot of underemployment and unemployment among immigrant women. And I started doing another research. Who are really taking care of this? What organization is out there taking care of this? Apparently there was none. There was not a lot of organization doing that. So that's when I decided to start Grow Women Leaders. And the goal for Grow Women Leaders today is to help women, especially immigrant women, get hired and advance their career. So the first thing that we do is job matching, followed by training, followed by ongoing supports. So that's what we're doing today.
Yeah, thank you so much. I love the fact that you kind of, identified the problems with just getting experience, not just reading the book or reading somewhere. And I think I love the fact that you actually went to talk to women, and the women, told you about the experiences that they were going through and what they have done maybe in the past and all that. And I think that connection is very good for everybody, even, as women, to support one another and to know that somebody is there to support them. You talked about how you were starting, but then I wanted to know also when you now identify these issues, did you engage the government or engage some, I know you said that some organizations that you looked around and you saw like there was nothing and you started that, but did you engage the government to actually, for them to know that, this is where we are not having, these kind of services for us?
Did I engage the government? I think the government that needs to know, the levels of the government that need to know what I was doing was already aware of what I was doing. This is a very big issue across Canada. And of course, every immigrant that I meet every day of my life has a story to tell around, when it comes to employment, how they don't have adequate employment, even the ones that are graduating here. So for me, I know. I think I was having a meeting with one of the somebody from one of the
government
officials. Exactly, that's a word for it. And they was like, "Oh my God, this is amazing what you're doing, and it's never been heard already." I'm like, "Yeah." I didn't want to just jump into conclusion because for me, I was I am still very particular that if I find a problem, I should be able to find a good solution.
Yes.
Because there was just a lot of talk and still a lot of talk out there. I don't want to be among that. So I am taking my time rather than, just going there and making some empty noise. I want to make sure that I have the right solution. I've been working on the solution. I had a problem, which is, underemployment and the rates of the high rates of underemployment and unemployment among immigrant women, especially the educated immigrants. That's the problem. What is the solution? And of course, finding the solution, I have to make sure I do the research. and ensure that it's working. And of course, after knowing that it's working, before, yet people that need to know about my work know about my work, but I'm still very, very conscious to make sure that I have the right solution, which now we do have the right solution. And apparently, the only organization doing it in Canada, the way we do it.
Have you also looked at, I know this is interesting because I just get so many questions around it. Have you also looked at the underpaid who are like most of the immigrants? If they get the jobs, they get hired, but they still are underpaid.
It's crazy. Every day of my life, there's just so many stories. As I said, I've been working on this now for the past, since 2017. It's been a while.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot of findings that we have that we're working with. Solution is there already. There is different stories from different angle. As I said, as you said, we do have some findings around that too. I am not really worried about the problem anymore. I don't want to go there and start talking about the problem. What is the solution? Is the solution that I'm coming up with. And another thing that we have to also understand is that the employment rate level between immigrant men and immigrant women is different.
It's different.
So there's more opportunity for immigrant men than that of the women. And the women, the conversation is actually left out of the workforce for a long time. And this is where I come in to do what I know best. I had to switch my career around for this as well, right? Because I felt this is what I was called to do.
Yes.
And I'm just really sticking here, you know what I mean?
This is amazing because I think this conversation can go on and on because just on this unemployment based on the immigration and all that, I think it's just a very, very big issue right now.
Indeed.
Everywhere we can go on and on. I read about a lot of accolades that you've received. You've received like quite a number of them, and having Grow, I was thinking, why hasn't Grow been able to maybe start an awards kind of ceremony where you honor those ladies that go through the training in your organization and just make it like, I don't think we have that in Edmonton, right? To really have like, honoring women that are doing great, or even not that, but just really getting through the training of leadership, strategies and whatnot. So I just wanted to know that.
I know. I read that. I'm like, all right. When I came to Edmonton, I brought a lot in here. Matter of fact, people know I don't go out that much, that's for sure. I know that's what you said about it. So, I've got my hands full. I'm a mother of 5. But with Project 150 came a lot. And of course, we did that. And we do that. It's just that I don't like making noise. So we did Project 150. During the time of Project 150, we did an award night, whereby we gave...
Oh, nice.
Yes, we actually honored part of the participants that we worked with.
Oh.
Yes. We did that. And we also do what is called Fearless 10 Award, whereby what you just mentioned is what it's all about. It's embedded into our summit, the Grow Women Leaders Summit. So it's just like I'm not a talkative. I like the action, so that's what it is, Yeah, we do that. It evolved from that a cultural night, awarding these women with the awards. And of course, then it moved into the summit. It's called the Fearless 10. So these are the women that actually, are doing amazing.
Interesting.
That we've worked with. So yeah, I think I should be posting it a lot.
Yes, please. Please do that.
We do. Everybody knows that
please
we do.
Please do that.
Yes.
I know you've talked a little bit about it. I know you've been advocating for women issues and, of course, unemployment in workplaces and the like. Were you discriminated before, or what's the passion coming from?
Where's the passion coming from?
Yeah.
It's coming from being an immigrant. It's coming from seeing amazing women, I was in the workforce. I've tried to be in the workforce. And the one that actually caught me was getting to meet these women.
Yeah.
They hold they hold PhD or PhD holders.
Yeah.
And some of them coming to me before I think it was during when I was working on Grow already.
Yeah.
Saying how they were having it difficult to find employment, and they went to school here. So I think one story caught me a lot. She graduated from a very prestigious university.
Mm-hmm.
And when she was trying to get into the workforce, nobody wanted to hire her.
Wow.
And that was like, she called me and she would lament. She would talk about, I left my family back home. I used all my training to come advance my education.
Education, yeah.
Here I am. And there was just a lot that was at stake from her not being able to get this job. I think that was one of the stories that actually inspired me. And of course, when I was doing Project 150, the women that was coming to me to say, oh my God, you just featured this woman. She says she's now a businesswoman, or she's now a manager. Tracy, do you know I have 2 masters from Pakistan, or I have double degree. So all those stories put together kind of just lit the fire in me to say, you know what, this is an issue that I have to deal with.
That is so great. That is so great. You're an author, right? And a speaker as well. And you go around, I'm sure you've met a lot of people where you speak, I don't know how many books you've written or how many articles you've written. Yes. You meet extraordinary people. Have you ever met people who have maybe inspired you or are aligned with your aspirations?
No, I've ever met people.
Like maybe not in Edmonton or around whatever, especially in Canada.
For me, I've been very self-driven.
Okay.
Because sometimes, even when I started what I was doing, many people didn't even understand what I was doing.
Yeah.
Many people are following suits now, which I really love seeing.
Yeah.
A lot of organization wanting to do what Grow has done, right? Which is good. That was what I wanted it to bear, right? Do I have something that someone that I looked up to? No, because even people, the idea was so big and still very big that people didn't get it. You know what I mean? Until I started executing, before people was like, oh, this is what you're trying to do, because it was just so hard.
Yeah.
And what it actually entails is a lot. It was a lot. And of course, the services that we offer now, it's now people are getting it, our candidate working with us, because they can see it. So imagine when I was trying to explain it to people, they didn't get it. Hence, of course, when I would tell them, this is what I'm trying to do, this is like, I'm a nurse, I'm a doctor, I don't know what you're trying to, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So there was none. There was none. There was no. I had to look, because there was nobody here in Canada, because what I'm doing is one of its kind.
Yeah.
And still one of a kind, and we haven't even started yet.
Yes.
I had to look outside of Canada, I had to look outside of the Canada to see what is close to what I'm trying to achieve.
Yeah.
So I had to look into other industry to kind of use to structure. There was just a lot that I can't go into it now. Maybe my next book, no, not my next book, the next book will have all the detail, of course, everything that I've been through.
Yes.
We'll have it. There was not.
It would be nice to have a book. It would be nice to have a book that stipulates, especially just really reading about, struggles of people, and also how did you come up with that, and the structure, everything. I think it will really give everybody.
It's life-giving. We have another one coming up, not this one, but the upper one. That's when I'm going to be telling it all. So if you know, watch out for that.
We will watch out for that, and we will call you again to come and just talk about the book and all that. That's really amazing what you're doing. I feel very, very honored to have you here. What advice would you give to someone who wants to imitate the same thing you want? You probably say, Should I even go there?
Yes, it's a big space. That's why I'm looking at some people.
I know.
after wanting to, they are inspired by it. You guess, yes, it's a big room here. Maybe this is where the Nigerian woman in me is coming out. It's a lot. Just pick area and go pursue it.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of problem. Canada needs support to do a lot of the work.
So there's a lot to do.
There's a lot to do.
To want to do something.
So it's not what we should be rivalry or trying to. No, there's a lot of things to be done. If you really know what you're doing, you know there's a lot of work.
Yes.
So, and that's why I don't talk about going out there and you would not really know anything about me except I tell you.
Yes.
Or, you know, yeah.
Yes.
I'm very laid back because I know there's a lot of work.
There's a lot of work.
So, yeah, that's what it is. So it's maybe a call few are choosing, but I know for sure that, you know, we have to, you know, we have to solve the problem that is out there. And of course, if you want to do it, pick an area. Just pick a problem and say, this is what I want to do, and find a solution to it. That's it. And the community will be glad you did. The province will be glad you did.
Yes.
The whole nation will be glad you did.
Yes.
So it is a lot of work. And trust me, we need more, how do you even call them right now? I'm a career strategist working in the community. So we need more folks to get into the civic engagement and, you know, taking initiative into their hand and to support the government as well. Yes.
Yeah, that's really great. This is great. I know you and I come from Africa.
Now you want to go.
From
Let's
Nigeria.
go there.
Yeah, let's go there. Let's go there. Let's go there.
Yes.
So you come from Nigeria.
Yes.
And we have a lot of issues in Africa. You know, leadership issues, resources, and whatnot. A lot of Africans, like you say, they are very educated. They'll go around the world and, you know, they face what you faced and what others faced and whatnot. But then we are coming from there and we're coming here. Particularly, I'll talk about Nigeria, right? Nigeria itself has about 63%, I think, literacy level. You know, lots of Nigerians are very educated people and whatnot. I have a question that I wanted to ask, and I'm going to read it. You know, there's all academic businesses, they are doing great, you know, yourself, you're Nigerian and whatnot. But it doesn't seem to reflect with the situation on the ground back home.
Nail it.
The hard work and everything, it doesn't seem to reflect that, even though the literacy level is what we are talking about, 63%. What are your thoughts on the coming elections? Does education play a role in governing, or is it corruption?
Corruption. Do I have to echo that out? Corruption.
Oopsie.
Oopsie. I think it's corruption. Corruption from all angles. You know, I made a post a couple of days ago. You know, I try not to dabble into politics back home because I don't live there. Because if I had to start living, knowing that I'm so blessed living in a country like Canada, and I start having my say, I feel that I'm an hypocrite. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you are not there.
I am not there. I have a lot to say, but because I'm not on the ground, I shouldn't have anything to say. I can only just wish them well wishes. But we are really, really educated. Even if it's not the formal education, there are informal way of people getting educated.
Yes.
Nigerians, they're smart.
Yeah.
The only thing is the corruption. And it's not, sometimes when you talk to the people, even the citizens, they were always like, oh, the government. But I think the assessment should be done from, you know, from the ground up, you know.
Yes.
How I have a lot to say.
When you accept the bribe or you accept corruption, it means that you're also part of that.
You're part of the problem. And more of the time, I think the citizens themselves got more of the work to do before they can even point their. I think that's all I have to say. You know, we need to check ourselves first. You know, how did we get here?
Yes.
What happened?
Yeah.
You know, what can we do from the citizen aspect before all? Because it's very easy to say, oh, government. Of course, the government are, but they are dubious, I have to say, you know.
But you see, the government is the people that you elect that go there, that were part of you before they got to there. So the system, like the culture, is already embedded in them.
It is,
and when they get to the office, they're just doing what they did.
Trust me.
Before.
Okay,
so that's
I'll just give an example now why I think they should search themselves. The Naira crisis that they're currently going through.
Yeah.
right? There is a lot of shortage of naira
Yeah,
currency.
I heard that.
And now, when you go to the POS to go withdraw money, regular citizens, they will tell you in order to collect maybe 20,000 naira, you have to pay maybe 30% of the money as a fee.
What?
It's crazy. You know, even to go buy fuel, for you to buy $100 naira fuel, they will tell you that they're going to be charging you. This is illegal stuff that you're doing, right? These are all the citizens, you know, implementing their rules.
Yeah.
So if they can, and it's very rampant, you know what I mean? Oh, Oga, you want to take 30,000 naira?
Oga.
My own is 10,000 naira. If you don't do it, go. I don't know if it's not corruption in its grassroots. I don't know what that is. And they will not go to the government. So it's what it is, as you said it. Corruption. Yeah. Education is there, and these people are smart. But we just have to find a way to get rid of the corruption.
Yeah, just a quick question. Do you think, not just about Nigeria, do you think Africa, we've taken education wrongly? In a certain, like, it's a very deep question, but I don't want it to go that way because it will bring up a lot of things.
Oh,
but I'm just, yeah, but I'm just saying that, do you think we've taken education wrongly? Because everywhere you go, you find the same problem. And then somebody said to me that you would be in Africa and you eat something and you just throw it away and whatever. People do that. And then when you come here, you find this system.
The system.
Structure and everything. You can't do that. You can't do this thing. So we've taken, but anyway.
Do I?
I just don't want you to answer that because it's kind of,
no, it's okay.
You can answer it if you want.
Look at it. I've been doing my own education. As I said, I've been doing my own research myself to see how did we get to where we are.
Yeah.
Education, is this really helping right now? Has the education be helping us? No, sort of. That's just my own opinion, you know, you can say. But I'm hopeful for the future. Whatever that is there can be modified somehow because of, you know, I so much believe in the AIs and the technology and all that. So I feel it's going to be bring some rectification, sort of. But the education before was it helping? I don't think it was helping.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Yeah. No, we like, you know, we'll come back and talk about it.
Yes, we will.
I think it's important to have these conversations as we shouldn't be shying away from
It's a deep conversation.
Discussions because we need people to understand that, you know, the problem is coming from somewhere. We have resources.
We'll just wait when I release my book, then we can come have some kind of conversation. For now, let's just leave it the way it is. You know, all these questions you're having, those are the things I will be touched base on when the time comes. Because it needs to be talked about. Because this is the way we can build an inclusive future. Yes. Especially with the way the future is going, the future of work. You know, so many, you know, I don't think people are talking about it right now. In order for us to be part of that beautiful future, we need to kind of take a step back to amend the past. And this is where now I'm really urging like countries, like Nigeria, my country, to choose wisely when it comes also to the leader that they're going to be put it in. Because same old is not going to cut where we are about to get into. So I'm really using maybe this as an opportunity to say vote wisely, because what is in front of us is big. We need somebody who can represent us to the fullest, who is going to bring hope, because there's a lot of work that needs to be done in Nigeria. This person or just for me, what I'm asking for is to give that hope that people are asking for, that they are yearning for. Allow them to have it, because there's a lot of work ahead. For the whole of Africa, not just for Nigeria.
All of Africa, for sure.
There's a lot of work ahead. In order for us to be competitive in what is to come, we have to be ready. And we need a good person, a good leader who understands what that looks like. So yeah, give the citizens hope.
That's Tracy right there. We are celebrating Black History Month, right? You know, do you think that, you know, the acceptance of Black History Month celebrations into the mainstream, because now it's gone into, like, you know, mainstream, is good enough to especially for young people, to have, to think about the positive, to think positively about the past, I guess, because we the Black History Month is there because we want to make sure that even generations that are behind us, before us and whatnot, understand the past, Do you think that's something that is good enough, or what are your thoughts about Black History Month?
The younger generation to understand the past. For me, I made a comment before. I don't really give a take on something that I really don't understand too much. Younger generation to understand what has happened in the past. The question is, are we, the Black folks, really educating a lot to use this as an opportunity to get the word out, to do what is right, unification, so that we actually bring that. That is the only question that I have. For the other ones that you ask, I still have to go educate myself more, right? But it's a good initiative, that's what I would say. But are we doing the work to really, 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 really get people to understand and educate themselves?
Yeah.
I don't know. And once I find the answers, maybe I'll come back and get back. Because
that's good. Just to add on to what you're saying, because Black History Month, for sure, even a lot of us that, especially continental Africans and diasporans that are here, it's become, especially in Canada, particularly Canada, it's not too long ago that we started, having it in the, being recognized by the government and all that. It was, I think, 2017 or I can't remember that time. I attended actually the ceremony to accept it in government and all the governments, especially in Alberta. So I think the question of saying that, do we understand it? I think we are just kind of starting to get to, we do know what it's supposed to be, but, just really having the confidence to even, transfer that knowledge to other people or young people.
Or do what it takes. Because, you asked me about Nigeria and I said, the work starts from the citizen, Are we it's not there, right?
Yeah.
Are we not really doing what it takes, the activities that we're supposed to be doing to really educate people about the past and how that can change the future? So that's where I will go do my research and try to, I've been very focused on equity, so I haven't really done a lot of racial yet, which I will be doing.
Yeah.
So once I educate myself on that, of course, and if anyone can educate me, but I think this is a great initiative.
Yeah, it is.
The story needs to be told.
Yes.
I want my kids to come home and educate me to say, this is what this is all about. There's a lot of things that we need to talk about and it needs to be, and not just for Black, for like indigenous community.
Yes.
There's just so many things that needs to be compensated for, and things like this, like the Black History Month and every other event or every other special day. It's a way to get started, but we have to be ready to do the work to, get the work going,
Very, very well said. Tracy, this has been a very good conversation. I know we've talked about politics, we've talked about your career, we've talked about, your organization. I just want to say thank you so much for coming. But before we close off here, I just wanted to find out, is there anything you want the viewers to know about you that we have not talked about, and all about anything else? Where to find you? How?
Where to find me? Okay, because I was like, if you don't know, I'm okay. Yeah, I'm a Nigerian. All right, ways to find me? You can always find me on all platforms, from all social media platforms, and of course, it's Tracy Barry. And of course, if you want to reach out to what we're doing at Grow, visit us on our website. It is www.growwomenleaders.com. And if you know any woman that is looking to get into the workforce, trust me, we've got a solution for that woman. And once again, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We are honored, and thank you so much for what you're doing. for women and everyone around. I'm sure they are very excited and very thankful that you've brought this initiative to the community and all that. So I've heard about you and I've met you once, and it's been like Tracy Barry. She does this and whatnot, and I think this is really great for us to meet in this.
Because the amazing community allowed me to do that, and I want to say thank you guys so much. Though I have my hands full being a mother of 5, but I know how the support is, and I really appreciate what you guys are doing as well.
No, thank you so much again. This is Tapestry with Miriam on Fusing a Channel, and we were just talking to the amazing Tracy Barry.
Thanks for having me again.
Thank you.